Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it up for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and maintenance. Today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of having an accountability partner. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also in the episode notes you'll see links for my website that has tons of recipes and articles, my books, my podcasts, and if you appreciate my content, please hit the like button right now, hit the notification button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And of course, make a donation via PayPal if you really appreciate my content. All right. Accountability partners. Are they efficacious? This channel is all about my experiences with losing weight and keeping it off for 3 decades. Okay, so there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer here. I'm just going to give you my insight as to some of the pros and cons of an accountability partner. In full disclosure, I did not have an accountability partner when I was losing my weight. And I did not really have an accountability partner keeping my weight off. Now, my ex-wife at the time knew, and for 66% of my weight maintenance time I was married to her, she knew about my eating issues. And I think on one level, she was kind of an accountability partner, even though I never designated her that, but I think she kind of knew to keep foods away from me, depending on what time period of the 15 years we're talking about, 19 years we're talking about. Because I've mentioned before in the upcoming kind of sequel to Confessions of an Obese Child that even though I lost my weight, I still had another 15 years of disordered eating. So she was aware of that, and I think she knew like when I was binge eating post weight loss, and kind of would direct me toward not doing that. But I would not say she's an accountability partner. Accountability partners are kind of like what we talk about like with AA, right? If you're an alcoholic, someone to call up if you're feeling the need to drink. And so if you ever gone to Overeaters Anonymous, which I'll have an episode about my experience going to OA, is there a benefit to having somebody that you can run to when you're feeling the need to eat? Yes, I think there's something great with that. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with that at all. Now, should it be your sibling or your spouse? Probably not. I would not recommend that because you're blurring lines. You're blurring lines, and I get it. Many times couples want to lose weight together and they can motivate each other, but the problem is like sometimes you're losing the weight faster than she is or vice versa. It can lead to a lot of that competition and resentment and envy. I just think it's better if you're going to have an accountability partner to make it somebody that you aren't related to familially. Now, the good things about accountability partners, of course, is you can text them, call them, I'm really tempted to eat, blah, 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 and they can try to convince you not to do it. Now, many times, this will be efficacious. But what's the con of the accountability partner? The con of the accountability partner is it's a crutch. It's not a long-term solution. And we see this like medical examples of this. A woman has irregular periods, so they put her on birth control, and the doctor doesn't ever ask, well, why do you have irregular periods? Or you have reflux, so they'll give you Pepcid or Rolaids, and the doctor doesn't ask, well, why is the gastroesophageal door open? Why is there reflux getting splashed in? So there's always the deeper question. It's so easy for us to treat the symptoms and think of things myopically and kind of a stopgap approach. And I would say this with accountability partners. If we've really done the deep work, and I talk about episode 1, the most important thing you must do, that is an episode you must see if you're new to the channel, is change your paradigm. Be introspective and realize, yes, you do have a disordered relationship with food. And work on the source. And the source is not having a disordered relationship with food. And normally I would tell you this, in my humble opinion, that typically has to do with childhood trauma that's caused you to have that disordered relationship. So work on that. What can happen when you have an accountability partner is you never have to do the deep work. And so it's always like an addict, an alcoholic. It's just day in, day out, don't binge. And again, guys, there's nothing wrong with that because you want to develop that habit, right? Like they always say, virtue is a habit. Vice is a habit. And so you want to build up that habit of not binging. But ultimately, you're not seeing the forest for the trees. So I would tell you, yes, have the accountability partner, but at the same time, do the deep work. Figure out why you have a disordered relationship with food. It's the same reason why in the past your crash dieting didn't work. It's the same reason. It's the same reason when alcoholics drink. You gotta get to the source of the dysfunction, work on that source either through therapy or whatever other technique. Cognitive behavioral therapy is typically good for stuff like this, and work at that. Because ultimately, once you resolve that and figure out why you have a disordered relationship with food and fix that, then you're not binge eating, you're not emotional eating, you're not stress eating as much. You don't need an accountability partner, and you're not going to be yo-yo dieting. So if you can do both of these at the same time, that would be ideal. Guys, post in the comments. Let me know if you have an accountability partner. I'd love to hear from you. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.